turn and face them in time?
If we have to, they may not want to fight us.
You notice that a couple of the Cadaverous Vark look like they are navigating this particular plane. Like they're way the hell out there. But you can see some activity near the Smoking Butte, which is this.
I guess as I'm listening to these decisions, I turn to Fereosae and I ask, where are you guys trying to get to?
That butte over there, the one with the smoke coming out.
Why?
It's an old dragon lair. And Zephyros needs something out of it.
Fair enough.
Before we can go back. Further over that way. There's a coven of hags.
Yeah, yes.
Be careful around them.
Okay. I kind of take down that information.
Hey, for those particularly interested in astrology and navigating, the center is a sundial.
There were hags on one side of the war in the Beastlands. And you're pretty sure that Ludo mentioned something about a very powerful hag living in the prison, in the mad prison place, that turned out to be the basement, some impossible basement of the hut with chicken feet. So hags seem to be,
A thing.
at least from your experience, a bad thing.
Gotcha.
They're dangerous.
I love that place.
But we might need to teach them a lesson one of these days.
Yes, well.
Was Baba Yaga part of Kavangian mythology?
Part of what?
Kavangian mythology?
Yes. So we're hags and werewolves and all sorts of gothic horror type stuff.
Gotcha.
Witches and black magic and fortune telling.
Well, shall we go straight away? The professor will say, turning. Keep up if you can, he'll say to the unseen servant and begin marching himself with it underneath his parasol floating mysteriously behind him.
You have some sort of featherfall effect?
I'm just going to walk down like normal.
You're just going to climb down like normal? Okay.
I've got this parasol for
acrobatics for jump or climb for climbing. It is a little bit steep and there is a roll because you could end up like hurting yourself.
Okay.
Tech will just hop down.
Tech is such a fucking bug that he's able to just like bound down these big steps in single leaps and not have to scramble down the series of plateaus and
oh god, 7
7
acrobatics.
Okay. Roll a d4. That's how many dice of damage you take from your tumble.
Am I falling down a hill?
Yeah.
Could I feather fall?
Yes, I will allow you to negate d4 worth of dice with your feather fall because it's not like you're. Last time you jumped and fell. This time you're just trying to walk down and you're kind of falling down. So roll a d4. This is how much how many dice of damage you are tumbling. You tumble 30 feet down the cliff, and then your feather fall negates d4 of those dice.
Nice. I will use spell recall to recall Featherfall after casting it.
Okay, well, give me your second d4.
Oh.
You're taking 3d6 points of damage without the feather fall. And the feather fall saves you from all of it. Aside from looking stupid as you're going upside down this cliff very slowly.
I guess as I see that, I turn to the bear and I'm like, see what I mean?
It waves its head off to the side. It probably kind of feeds off of your jocularity somewhat. The desert Rothe is following Saun. It seems to like be moving behind you.
And there's no just making an estimate. Would this thing be able to walk down that hill?
If this thing is from the desert, it might actually be able to. It's big. It's shaggy. It might be nimble enough to get down. Fereosae just flies along with her, with her familiar.
But there are other vargs around us, right?
Pardon me?
There are other the junk people.
The Varks, the little aardvark people. They are slowly heading out into the fields.
Oh, the meat sled we're leaving behind with the Vark.
They then hook the meat sled up to one of their giant stag beetles and are pulling the meat sled.
I think we should leave the pair of Rothe horns with them too.
Okay. They pack them away. They do have a debate amongst themselves that Zephyros, who speaks Vark, they're wondering if the packed meat is junk or if it's cadaver. They think the damage has already been done, so therefore it's junk. The sled is definitely junk. We'll dump the meat if we need to. It will be a horrible day. We will mourn the loss of that junk, but the sled is ours, and they kind of wheel the sled.
As they're walking away, I kind of stop them. I'm like, "Hey, get your friend," and I point to the.
Oh yes, I thought he'd go with you. Mighty Desert Rothe carry lots of junk. You should bring him. He carry all the junk back up. Yes.
Point.
Yeah,
That's
fair
good.
enough.
Good
Okay, I
barking.
know.
Yes, good barking.
I don't know what that means, but the fact that they're giving him away is good enough for me. I'm like, okay, buddy, let's come with us.
Yep. The Desert Rothe is at least docile enough to follow. It avoids the bear a little bit, but it sees that you're going in that direction.
And I stomp out the fire.
Okay.
Before we leave.
The illusion of all the rocks kind of fades away as the professor has lost concentration of the circle of rocks that was around your camp. Zephyros, how are you getting down the steepish cliff?
Zephyros casts Fly and flies down.
Look at you guys. Okay, that is one way to brute force your way down the cliff. All right.
No, it's one way not to fall down.
Right, for damage that you can't heal because you don't have clerics.
Right.
Son,
And,
this is a DC 15 climb check or a DC 15 acrobatics check.
Well, I also have slow fall.
Oh, right, Cloud Giant. What is the distance that you can slow fall?
It says it take damage as if the fall was 20 feet shorter than it actually is.
So
If it's
Saun
30 feet.
Saun just sort of like launches himself off, and he seems to catch the wind. Not quite as slow as Featherfall, but he just sort of like his cloak kind of unfurls out. And he was kind of big and lumbering, but he seems pretty light on his feet when he needs to be. So he just simply jumps down the cliff without any problem. There's just a series of steps.
The mental image I have
Are we
is like,
taking the Rothe?
well, after I land, I like turn and wave to the bear and the Rothe, and I'm like,
Okay.
hey, guys,
Okay.
come down.
I need a climb check or an acrobatics jump check for the bear.
Okay. Let me check this out.
The acrobatic jump check for the bear will use his strength instead of his dex, so let me make sure that I made that distinction. Where is your bear? Nope. So
His strength is +6.
I'll make a set.
Why is acrobatics using strength?
It is an old house rule that we took over from third edition D&D, where jump can use your dex or your strength.
Oh, but just jump, not all acrobatics.
Not all acrobatics. Yeah.
Gotcha. So are you editing the?
Yeah,
sheet?
I'm doing
Okay.
that right now.
Have you seen the episode of Clerks, the animated series?
Oh, I don't know if I've seen any of the animated
The-
series.
Includes an episode where, due to circumstances beyond their control, the script for the rest of the episode was lost on its ways overseas, and the entire episode was finished by the Korean animators.
No!
It's the best. There's a point in there where they meet a bear, and then later on they're driving a car, and it includes the phrase, "Who is driving? Bear is driving. How can that be?"
All right, the bear's got a +14 for jumping, so
yeah.
it basically does 3 hops and kind of navigates his way down, sliding down the last bit of the last bit. That's no problem. The Rothe, it doesn't even pause. Like, it's not even phased by this. And the Desert Rothe,
Like a nimble goat down a mountainside.
its speed is 40, so it's a +4 to its jump. Its strength is +10, so with 0 ranks, it has a +14. It goes hop, slide, hop, slide, hop, slide. and this several 1,000-pound beast of burden comes kind of sliding down the cliff and nimbly joins your party.
I again appreciate the animal.
Yep.
Like scratch its whatever.
It makes a happy cow noise, but if a cow was 8 times its size,
Right.
yeah.
All right.
You are on the desert floor of the Valley of the Titans. Where are you folks headed? Are you headed just directly across the way, or?
I think we're going straight for the entrance
I
to.
think probably, yeah, because we it's not like we're going to be able to avoid detection by the Death Vark, and so we may as well just like be quick about it.
Maybe we can.
Are you
before they come back?
wandering close to the crossroads where that weird sigil is, or are you going around it?
Before we move, can I make like a tracking check or survival, and just kind of look around, try to get a sense of like what kind of animals or what kind of things
Yep.
exist here?
Yep. Give me a survival check. You can see Saun having a look around.
I think we would go pretty much directly. So if we go by the sigil,
Is this a tracking or is this survival?
Tracking would be a specific thing. Actually, I'm going to give you tracking. That's fine.
Because I'm looking at tracks.
Yep.
Right. 23.
You see your own party's tracks. You see there are some tracks of those bird-like creatures that the Cadaverous Vark are riding. The Cadaverous Vark came right up to where you guys landed. Like, they didn't climb up the hill, but that night, one of the bird creatures and one of the Varks, like, came right up to the edge and probably looked around and then scooted off.
Okay.
So they may have detected your campfire, or the light from the campfire.
Or probably the smoke.
You do find some large humanoid tracks.
Okay.
Somebody with wrapped feet instead of boots, and they're like big, like 8 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Not very heavy though, for something that big. You do see probably a week old, some very large cat tracks. We're talking about a cat that might be on the verge of between large and huge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess the important part there is that the Death Vark came close to our camp, so I relayed that information. I turned, turn to the rest of the party, and I'm like, we're being tracked.
Interesting.
There is a lot of foot tracks of that large creature around this crossroads, and at the crossroads there are these weird metal, it's almost like somebody had etched into the ground symbols and poured liquid metal into the symbols, into a circle at the crossroads of a bunch of crisscrossing trails, and there's a lot of foot traffic of that large humanoid creature around that particular area. It seems that the animals and others that have avoided that particular
It's
area.
a summoning circle, I think. Protection runes facing inward. The hags are trying to keep it in good repair. Have they finished it yet? Have they finished repairing it?
You can go and have a look if you want.
Yeah, I want to take a look.
Okay, Fereosae flutters down and lands near it. Pixel's whining, be careful, be careful, be careful.
Okay, so I won't go in it.
Yes, I don't like this. I don't like the feeling of it.
Interesting.
There is sort of a foreboding. What was the information I gave you about this thing last time?
It's pretty powerful magic. It was kind of a protection, a circle of protection type spell.
Do you remember what?
Awful or something?
Facing inward. What was it protection from?
Law?
It might have been law. Let me see if I wrote it down.
It was law.
It was law. Okay.
Conjuration is breathing. What is that?
Yeah, conjuration magic. Yeah. It's like they summon something here.
Yeah, there's like a wall. There's like of it. On one side, the effect is like on the valley. That's why it's at the crossroads, I think.
I guess I don't think any of that would be of any interest to Saun. So unless you guys, Fereosae, you kind of fly down there. Does the rest of the party just keep walking?
Looks like it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of.
Yeah, I
Going
didn't
forward.
write it down. I'll detect magic on it again.
Yeah.
My ears will peak up at the sound of someone detecting magic, and I will double back casually to take a look.
I believe it was a magic circle against law,
Yeah.
which made it a chaotic spell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Harlem.
Perhaps they summon a devil here.
Devils are bad.
Yes. Yes.
Against law,
If they're
though.
careful, it won't escape.
Wouldn't that be?
It's devils are rules, contracts.
Would I know?
Demons are just wicked.
Would I know if this kind of circle, like specifically against law, would work well against entrapping demons?
Do you mean work well to entrap demons?
Give me a knowledge planes check. So your assumption the circle is what?
I know it's against law
Yes.
from the last time we investigated it.
Yeah.
Do I know if this would be effective at containing demons? 17. I'll say, I'm not thinking too clearly. And I'll pull out my blank book and I'll cast Pagebound Epiphany and look up what is a protection against law.
Okay, so the party wandered off a little bit, and then they stopped as they realized some of the casters are poking at the.
I don't stop.
Can I do a knowledge planes as well? 25. Would this be effective against devils?
Devils, yes. Demons, no.
I am going to do.
Right. And does it look like the hags have made more progress?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna continue on with the party.
I'm gonna read my book for 7 seconds, asking it what would this be good at trapping as a summoning circle.
Sure.
Would this be planes again?
Not Fae.
Yes.
Jesus, 22.
You think that demons were not the right track. You're thinking now outsiders of the with the law subtype. Devils from Fereosae sound like they're the law subtype, but there are other types of outsiders with the law subtype.
Modrons.
There are these
Inevitable.
neutral, inevitables, and then there are certain kinds of angels as well
Yeah, that's true.
that have lawful subtypes.
Yeah.
Does anything from, say, Ankwani lore or perhaps Titan lore come to mind while I ponder these lawful creatures?
Titan lore?
I am in the Valley of the Titans,
Yeah.
am I not?
Knowledge religion?
I will.
Or another knowledge planes?
I will spend 2 to spell recall page bound.
Perhaps the hags are angel summoners.
And I will do it again. I think what you said.
So you're continuing with your small horde of animals, and Tech kind of is torn between them. He says, "Stop."
I guess I stop the animals and.
Yep.
Yeah, if we're like in that area where I can clearly see toward the death marks, I'm just keeping a lookout, I guess.
Oh yeah, you see that there are 3 that are on these weird axe beak creatures, these really dangerous looking birds. But there's a small horde of Vark that are finishing the job that you did not finish. the day before, there are at least 8 of them that are hacking and sawing and preparing more meat from the carcasses that you left behind.
And these were carcasses that had been in the desert for a day.
Yep, for an evening at least.
Right. Or like 24 hours.
31 religion.
The temples, the Titans they tended to be unbridled agents of chaos. You're having a hard time thinking of a neutral Titan?
I am the blues. Chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
No?
But
Along with
Chaotic.
yeah.
but I don't know that this is even happening.
Yeah.
Because I have like 0 care about.
Dysnobia might be a little less chaotic, as one, in order to maintain a household, must have some semblance of order. Overall, however, the Titans are more creatures that lean towards chaos.
Not for Titans, then.
So this is not a circle that would bind a Titan. Of course, the circle's not really big enough physically. It could be a circle that Titans could use to bind things that are opposite of them.
Interesting.
Chaotic magic. Yeah.
So the Titans that they know about they're about a third of the pantheon, Kenny. Dysnobia, the Titan's bride, the Titan goddess of marriage, women, intrigue. She is neutral. Iambulus, the sleeping Titan god of sleep, dreams, and inspiration, is chaotic neutral. Keratos Mors, who is Keres, Moros, and Thanatos, all in one, is the destroyer, the god of destruction and doom, chaotic evil. Prometheus, the fire starter, the hope bringer, the Titan who protects us being humanity or goodly sentient beings, is chaotic good. And then the iron god, god of war, is an uncaring Titan, chaotic neutral. So those are the Titans that are well known in this particular world. They do have families, and there are other creatures out there that are Titans. They're just not worshipped as divine entities.
So if the Hag's cave is at approximately 11 o'clock on the clock face of the valley, and the ossuary vault's at about 8, that put the circle somewhere around 7 or 9?
11, 12, 13, and then this would be...
Oh fuck, I forgot it's 13 hours.
It's a 13-hour clock in this world, so 26-hour days. This is kind of like 8 or 9.
Yeah, so 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tech just waits. The wizards seem to come to some agreement. There are some
Interesting. Hello, Wither King.
The professor packs up his book, muttering about Titans.
Are you done now?
Oh, what? Oh. I'm noticing for the first time that people are off still
Right.
moving away. Okay. Oh, don't mind me, just a bit of research. After all, I've spent my entire life trying to get here. Can't...
Okay, these 3 Vark on their axe beak are moving forward, and the ones that were packing up the meat have stopped, and they are moving forward as well, spreading out.
Yeah, I guess immediately as I see him going toward me, I turn to Tech, and I'm like, alarm. Roger's approaching.
Seeing the urgency in Saun's eyes, perhaps the professor will cast Mage Arbor on himself.
Okay.
What? The professor speaks with Vark? Who else speaks with Vark? Zephyros, do you speak Vark?
He does, I believe.
I do, yes.
Oh, good.
One of the Vark dips behind the Nomon, which is this big, the name of this big rocky outcropping, and you can hear a horn being called.
This ought to be fun. Shall
Do
we
I know
go
what it means?
and negotiate?
These two axe beak continue, and this one seems to be riding around the bend. You guys have maybe 2 or 3 rounds of prep and movement.
Shall we go?
We'll call it 3. And at the end of the 3rd round, you notice that these Vark who had disappeared behind some crevice are coming out and sort of looking out along the valley floor as if they're responding to the horn.
Shall we parley then, gentlemen?
So give me 3 rounds of actions and movements, Saun. Kind of out in the open with your 2 animals.
I, kind of hurry them both.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is serious, follow me quickly.
Yep.
And I run toward Tech, kind of taking my bow off my shoulder.
Yep. Position the animals where you want them relative to
Yeah.
you and Tech. Tech just simply takes out his blades.
Yeah. And yeah, like this thing, I'm just down to go like, hey, even like roughly where I put it.
Okay. Tech doesn't want the animal in front of himself. He's just going to take a position beside Saun. The desert rothe doesn't realize that anything bad is happening. It just goes off and starts grazing upon the surprisingly green valley floor of the Valley of the Titans.
Fereosae is going to move a little bit closer in. I want to see. I want to be able to get, people within 30 feet, kind of.
Yep.
Is Saun taking out his arrows?
Well, I took the bow off and just kind of put on the ground the arrows in the quiver. I mean, the arrows are, like, you don't take them out unless you literally intend to shoot right now.
Right.
Okay.
He's carrying probably quite a few. You can see he's got a few quivers on his back.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor, and I'm going to cast Moment of Greatness.
Okay.
So everyone has Moment of Greatness, which is it lets you double a morale bonus once. I haven't given you guys a morale bonus to double yet, but if push comes to shove, I'll go ahead and give you one.
Does that go on everyone?
Yeah.
The hand, too?
And the bear.
Yes.
Okay. So the way we keep track of spells, just double click on your token, and a screen should pop up. And under notes, you can write down spells that are on your character sheet. So I've added it to Tech, and I'll add it to Makronam.
So the distance from Zephyros to Saun is 35?
Yeah, you're flying, so you can move 60. No problem.
So yeah, it's not about the flying. I'm trying to see whether I'm close. So my range close is 25 feet plus 5 feet per two levels. So 5 feet per 2 levels gives me 15 feet. So he's within 40 feet. So I can cast flame arrow on his arrows from where I'm standing.
How many pieces of ammunition does this affect?
50.
Okay, you can't help but notice, but you look over your shoulder at some sort of weird, like, flashing light, and all the fletching of almost nearly all arrows that you're carrying look like they're on fire.
So each arrow.
I dropped the quiver.
Someone freaks out and is, like, pulling his quivers off and throwing them to the ground.
So what that does is each one of your arrows is gonna deal 1d6 of extra fire damage.
Yeah, I'm not touching arrows that are on fire. Like I throw the quiver on the ground.
I'm also going to cast Resistance on myself.
Saun has 0 ranks in spell. You realize that you're dealing with a man who does not know what magic is.
Zephyros looks at this.
Well,
he's gonna have to
arcane
spend
magic.
a round. He's gonna have to spend a round instead of casting something.
It's like he's on fire, and he spends a round basically pulling quivers off of himself, and you realize the fire's not hurting you. Like you touched one of the ends of it. It's warm, but there's something about it, and you kind of pull out one of the arrows, and the tip is on fire. That's warm.
Will I? Because I've experienced magic arrows before. Do I make that connection? Because I've had ones actually.
A lot of these people are spellcasters. You heard people casting spells. Nobody's rushing to explain.
Right.
Zephyros shouts at him that it's magic. Don't worry.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Pixel's laughing. Her laugh is like tinkling bells. Okay, so while you guys are taking your 3 actions, they had moved in position, and then these ones are going to start running down the valley side. This one's running around the corner a little bit. These guys are catching up. These Vark are moving en masse. They seem agitated to your big force that is coming across the valley. You guys have another round of actions. Saun, you can spend your round picking up your arrows again if you want.
I don't think I got a first round.
Oh, what did you do with your 3 actions?
I'll do mage armor and reduce person.
Okay, the professor turns into a halfling-sized version of himself. And for a brief moment, there was a shimmer of magic around his full body.
For my... Will they get here, I guess, will they get here on 3, or will we have a full third before...
So you have a 4th round, and the 4th round is where they are right now.
Oh, they finish here at round 4?
That's right.
How fast does it look like they're moving?
The axe beak things you can see in the distance.
Yeah.
They look like they're so big that they're not hampered by the tiny riders.
Mm-hmm.
And they're moving at 50.
How tall are they?
They are like 8-9 foot birds. 9 feet tall and probably 500 pounds. With big, sharp looking beaks.
I appreciate that.
Sorry.
Angriest emu you've ever seen.
Yeah. As I'm like putting the arrows down on my back, I point out to Saun like, check these things out.
Bird meat.
Is what Tech says.
I nod. I don't like say anything. Yeah, I'm basically just standing, holding my bow. I know.
I don't know if Tech's going to use spells in this fight. He's going to save him.
Also 5 foot closer.
Okay, everyone gets one more round.
Also, to be fair,
we
I don't
do-
think it's been, like, at least maybe just to Saun. It has been like completely clear that a fight is about to happen. It's the riders that are unknown, but like.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that it's not totally clear.
The 2 are scooting in pretty quick. These guys are trying to come in quick. This guy's a little more cautious as he's rounding around the corner. You've definitely got them riled up with your approach.
On my second turn, I'll do expeditious retreat and invisibility on myself.
Okay, the professor disappears.
Are we on the 3rd turn yet?
Yeah, we blast past that. Keep on going.
Okay, on the 3rd turn, I will use minor image to summon. It's 7 10-foot cubes, or not 7. Sorry, 110 feet of cubes in a row. It's 4 10-foot cubes and then 1 10-foot cube per level after that. So it'll be a line of 10-foot cubes worth.
110 feet cubes?
I'm going to start it on this wall, and I'm going to go 110 out here.
So there's 110 feet from the wall.
The ground seems like it should shake with this rumbling sound echoing over the plains as out of the grounds a stone wall begins to raise up 10 feet high in craggy brilliance. And then the professor shooting from quick drawing a silent image wand. On top of that, it seems like it should make more noise though with such a tall wall. Extends the wall another 10 foot in the air. I will have busted one of those Magus Arcana points to increase the spell DC on these 2 as well.
Okay, you're just not powerful enough to extend the wall throughout the entire the entirety of this gap.
Yes.
Although the wall does look impressive and it is obscuring vision somewhat.
I will say to them, the wall isn't there, you can fire through it, but it may slow them down or bottleneck them at least.
Okay. Round 5, you can hear them.
Wasn't round 4?
Oh, you want your round 4?
Yeah, for sure. Round 4. I will plug the gap.
Oh, you could hear magic going off and stuff happening. And
I also want to do something around 4.
yeah.
I will spell increase the DC on these ones as well, and I will do a silent image from a wand, and I will put in the gap 100, like a big. Oh, what is like a giant green eyeball? Like the eyeball's white, but it has green skin around it, and it's got little tentacles on the bottom. I can see it in some sort of cartoon. I'm not sure what. It's kind of curious and ponderous.
How big is this giant green?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be in the hole there. And it's got the tentacles around it, and it kind of blinks. It doesn't make any sounds.
I guess when I see it, it has tentacles like all around it.
Yep.
Like on its ground, it's
Right.
like a little carpet of tentacles, and then sitting on it, a giant eyeball that just sort of looks around and
I guess when I
blinks.
see it, I like flinch
Yes,
and I'm like,
perfect.
oh look,
Thank
it's
you.
my ex.
Now he gets it.
I'm pretty sure the professor summoned that, but we might want to shoot once for good measure.
Alright, tech on round 4.
More than once.
What is that?
It's fine, Tech. Don't worry. Focus on the Vark.
Okay, Tech is
round
gonna
4.
wander. He's gonna wander up to the bottom part of the wall and just sort of like put his sword through it, and give me a will save at +4 because the professor said it wasn't real. He's trying to disbelieve the bottom portion of the wall.
Right. Will save for tech +9. 1d20 +9 +4. 32.
I can see through the bottom part.
Beautiful.
They are riding closer. They are
so-
slowing down.
I let Ted do that.
Yep.
Then I call him back.
warrant.
Ted, take a step back.
Okay.
I take out my rope and I throw it. Like if this is the wall, like if this was the wall,
Yep.
on the bottom, on this side, on the
Okay.
side closer to me, and I cast rope weave on.
So you're gonna cast rope weave. Which version?
Tripline.
Zephyrus casts shield.
Say that again. Sorry.
Zephyrus casts shield on himself.
No. Rope
Tripline.
Oh.
That's the last one.
trip line. The rope stretches into a tangled mass that fills 1 5-foot square per caster level. And your caster level is what?
Well, it's my level -3, right?
Yeah.
So it's 4.
4. Okay. Can you point on the map where you want your trip wire?
Are the squares 5 feet or 10 feet?
The squares are 5 feet.
Okay.
I can draw them for you.
But it's basically one to the right and one to the left of bound and the two in front. Yeah, like that.
Like that? Okay.
Well, I guess maybe I don't quite understand the jump. Or maybe like one closer, so that they'd have to ride through the wall before they
If they rode through the wall, they're getting through the trip.
Yeah, like that.
You know how to make trap.
I nod.
Tech just-
And I kind of hold down its tail and I'm like, don't touch that.
Okay. The bear understands. You can reposition the bear on the 4th round. Tech seems to be following, like he seems to be looking through the wall. Him going up and smacking it seemed to make him be able to see through it. Whereas,
Do we need to make will checks?
well, you took an action this round. You could try to concentrate on it on the next round to disbelieve it. It seemed that Tech was able to see through it because he went up and touched it. And then there's this still very disconcerting 20-foot diameter veiny green eye with tentacles that is just moving around and surveying the field. And there are new horn cries, two blips from one of the horns, merp, merp, when the eye appeared, and you can hear the axe beaks squawking in the distance. Their cries calling out and echoing across the valley. So that was the round 4 for these two. Fereosae, would you want to take your round 4?
I'm just gonna watch.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Zephyros, round 4.
Zephyros cast shield.
Shield, okay. Professor, you already took your round 4. Great. Round 5. They are riding like this. Pretty brave, but they seem to be concentrating on, and the professor and Tech are the only ones that can see, the ones on the floor. They seem pretty aggravated by this massive eyeball. These Vark are moving forward, and these Vark are trying to navigate a way down, and have gotten to here. Okay, round 5, what are you guys doing?
Can I do a will save or something to?
You can try to disbelieve an illusion. Which illusory thing are you trying to disbelieve? The first section of the wall at the bottom, the second section of the wall, or the giant stupefying eyeball?
I would say the section of the wall that is preventing me from seeing further along the ground.
It was a 10-foot and a 10-foot, or a 5-foot and a 5-foot?
It's 10-foot cubes.
Okay.
It's 20 feet high of wall, 10 feet deep, 110 feet long.
Got it. So it's just the bottom section of the wall. Go ahead and give
But I can still fly, right?
You can still fly, yeah.
So I could have just flown up a little and seen over it.
Okay, so you as a move action, you fly above it. Yeah, the Vark look like they are firing. They're about ready to fire their bows at this big eyeball thing. And you can see these Vark are moving in. They do have bows drawn, and then these Vark are way in the distance, and they're trying to navigate the rocky terrain.
Does it seem pretty clear yet whether there's a fight coming or whether we can avoid this fight?
Give me a sense motive.
Okay.
I don't think we can avoid the Vark, but I don't know if they want to kill us. They are called the Death Vark. That's probably not a great sign.
No, it's not. My nat 1.
7.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
They're riding in quick.
Okay, they're riding in quick. Do I fireball them?
Well, do we attempt diplomacy, or shall we get straight to the point?
Oh, let them get closer.
Zephyros delays.
We have plenty of time, don't we?
Okay, you could ready an action. Because you already floated up.
Yeah,
okay, so
that's
you're
right.
just
I'll
floating
ready
above, and you're waiting to blast with a fireball, Henry, for your 5th round.
Yeah.
I will delay.
Okay. To just not.
I'm going to continue to concentrate on my illusions.
Okay.
Both me and the hand will continue to concentrate on illusions. The hand is concentrating on the better wall, the bottom one that made sound. I'm concentrating on the eyeball creature.
All right. Anyone else miss their 5th round of actions?
And the bear, I guess.
Yep.
Since I know that this is an illusory wall because it just appeared there, I'm trying to, I guess, see through it.
Okay, so you're trying to disbelieve the wall. Which section of the wall? The one that grew first, or the one that grew second? The one that's
bottom grew
bottom
first,
one.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, give me a will save. You can add a +4 because you know it's not real, but the professor's illusions are very convincing.
They are very convincing. How convincing? Let's find out.
Come a little closer, Professor, if you want my blessings.
Oh yeah, I will come a little closer. Come a little bit closer.
I don't get anything from the moral notes, right?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. Natural 1.
Natural 1. Well, he's not a simpleton. He's good at whatever magic this is, and for all intents and purposes to you, that looks like a solid stone wall that he's somehow conjured from the valley floor.
Fair enough. Yeah, and the bear does the same, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know if he has a will.
the bear has an int of 3, so you're going to probably have to instruct him to go and touch the wall or something.
No, he does nothing because there's a rope right in front of him.
Yep.
The crawling hand will notice you guys kind of up there at the wall inspecting it, and will do whatever a disembodied hand's equivalent to, like a "Hey, get a load of that guy," you know. He'll point at it, and he'll open a little viewpoint for Saun in the wall, so he could peek through, but it wouldn't be easy for the Vark on the outside to see through at us.
Alright, so a crenellation opens up where on this turn?
Right in front of Saun's eyes.
Well, I'm like
through
15 feet from
through
the
the weird
So
zone
just
trap
a-
that he set up, or off to the side?
Yeah, he's pretty
a
far
straight
back.
shot cut right there.
Yeah, just like right in front of him, so he could.
Okay, so there's a peephole that opens up here.
Okay. I guess I would see like the dust of them riding by.
Yeah, you can see the dust. You'd have to position yourself a little bit to use that as a.
Right.
But it's almost like we were staring.
Yeah. The professor and the hand share a quiet chuckle from the backfield.
The hands, jangly bones, mocking.
Isn't the hand invisible?
Yeah, but I sense its emotions.
No, but like this action, how would it?
It
Like, how do you
would
point at your invisible?
tap me, and I would like, no, it's giving me one of those. Get out of there! Yeah.
The two of them are just having a
Weird.
fun old time. All right.
Old. The
Okay.
emphasis on
Round
it.
6. The creatures come in, fire some arrows at the big eyeball. These guys are navigating their way into the plains, and these Vark are avoiding the wall and kind of running along the edges of this foothills right here. They kind of formed into a line as they're avoiding it. Now these Vark firing their arrows do get a initiative, or sorry, a will save.
Yep. What are they gonna do?
Let me find some stats for them. Cool. Oh, look at that horrible will save.
Come on, they can disbelieve this giant eye that just appeared in the desert somewhere for no reason.
18, not 20, and a 10. So one of them disbelieves it.
Yeah, that's right. Just barely though.
Yep. Alright, I'll just keep going.
Is it not 20 save automatic success?
Mm-hmm. So these ones are firing arrows, and they moved and fired arrows. These ones are moving out. So you're round 6.
Which one is the one that disbelieves it now reacting any differently to it?
Yeah, not that you can tell.
Whose turn is it on round 6? Or is it just free for all?
Yeah, free for all.
I will sort of blink in surprise as much as a tentacle eye can emote surprise.
Okay, this is kind of hidden in the back of it is its eyelid that wraps around like this.
You got it. See, you get what I'm going for. And it will quickly scuttle at 180 degrees and start like its tentacles are moving so fast, but it moves so slow as it tries to run away because they fired arrows at it, so it's trying to turn and run away.
Okay.
Perhaps draw the Vark in.
The Vark were able to hit the big 20-foot balloon of evil.
I'll make appropriate arrows appear to be sticking out of it to convince them that it truly is real.
Okay, that's the professor. Tech is moving over, and they're over there. He moves over, kind of right beside the trap. Get a little bit of this vibe from these guys.
Yes, I think that was kind of where it was coming from, but in my head, it's like just a big eye. in little tentacles and more.
Okay,
but
the
yeah,
desert
can't
rothe
kill us.
chewing on desert shrubs just sort of looks over at all of you and then continues to eat. Zephyros, what are you doing?
Sephiroth is delaying.
Okay. You're still kind of hovering above the wall. They could be firing arrows at you, but apparently
Yeah.
the big eye ended up being the thing that concerned them most.
Did
Yeah,
arrows
so
actually
Sephiroth is
go-
still in the same position he was before. I just to indicate that I was flying and moving up, so I'll just move him back to his spot, but he's hovering in the air.
Okay.
Did arrows kind of fly through the eye's illusion?
Yeah, you heard them clicking along the ground.
Are they too far away for me to like get a sense of how good they are?
They hit the center mass.
No, I mean like the quality of the arrow.
Oh yeah, it's way too far. You'd have to go and try to retrieve them.
All right.
Pixel's gonna fly up.
Okay.
She's very, very difficult to see. And she just
small.
wants to know what's going on.
There's lots of Vark in a line over there, and he's 3 over there, and there's 3 more coming on the big birds.
Let me know if the biggest group of them is getting close to the gap with the eye.
Yep. It's nice up here.
Don't get eaten by a bird.
Does Pixie benefit from that Endure Elements spell?
Not exactly.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it's early in the morning. Later on.
Normally she kind of hangs out inside my jacket or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So she's melting. Good thing you're having this fight in the morning and not in the middle of the afternoon.
She's getting warm.
So Professor is gone. It sounds like Saun has moved. You can see them. Like it looks like they're hit and run tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you walk up to the big thing? It's pretty gross and scary. All right, round 7. That's exactly what 2 of them are doing. They're still firing. They fire an arrow each, and then their bird creatures kind of move off. This one doesn't fire an arrow and is just simply watching the field and comes marching back over, riding back over to the group, which now is clustering.
I think perhaps
4 of them have broken from the group and are marching towards the wall. And
Because Marty knows by now.
what? Wait, what? What do I know?
I said because Marty knows by now.
And then these axe beaks are moving in, and they stop there and fire arrows at the big eyeball thing that appeared out of nowhere.
We still holding back.
Failing their will saves, they believe the eyeball is real.
Oh, I don't know. We can do whatever we like, I suppose. Just thought we wouldn't want them charging full speed at us.
There is a cluster. There's a cluster of 3 you could probably get with a fireball. There's a cluster of 1 axe beak, 1 of the Cadaverous Vark, and 4 that are on foot. And then there's a cluster. They walked up to the wall. They haven't interacted with it, but they're kind of marching along the side of the wall in this direction.
If
You can see Tech getting ready to pound.
I want to kill him so bad.
Right.
Oh, there's so much meat potential here.
Okay, you're round 6. Tech is just delaying until you guys give the go ahead.
I guess I saw the hole, so it's obvious to me. Okay, this is illusory. So I'm trying to figure out a way to, I guess, to see through it again. Or can you reroll? Say?
Yeah, you could try to disbelieve the bottom layer of the wall again.
Come on, you got this.
You get a +4, as there's obvious proof that it is magical.
19.
No, that is not going to be enough. It should be 23 for that one.
That's an awful DC.
That's a level 1. Or that's a level 2 spell.
Yeah. So you shake your head. You're like, that's still real to you. You can still see through this hole, and you can see a bunch of them firing arrows. They're decent archers from horseback or from mount.
Do I
From mounts.
hear these guys marching? These 4?
It's a pretty loud battlefield. Tech is pointing them out.
Okay.
So he's like, 4.
4 are coming this way, along the wall on the other side.
Yeah, like the first thing he says, I immediately put my hand like to my mouth. Like, shh.
Maybe they come through hole.
Can Zephyros take an action?
Yeah, Zephyros, what are you doing? You're floating around, looking at the battlefield?
Zephyros is going to make sure that he's flying just high enough above the... I'm not sure if you can see where I'm marking. He's making sure that he's flying just high enough so that he can peek over that and still see these guys over here.
Okay.
And he shoots a tiny little pea in this direction.
All right, what kind of magic are you firing?
These are Vark, right? So they're probably wearing lots of iron, things that would be very bad against electricity. I'm thinking.
You're channeling electricity into the ball?
Yeah, I think I'm going to channel an electric fireball here.
Can you point at the center of the sphere?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so this is somewhere around there, pretty much exact.
This whizzing spark of electricity goes flying over the wall, and then there's this crackling nimbus that goes off, and the horrible screeching of birds and their riders. Okay, give me damage for your lightning fireball, as Zephyros has had enough.
So this is going to be 7d6 plus 3 damage because it's an evocation spell.
Yep.
So
Half your level.
7d6 plus 3. That's 29 damage.
Okay. And then the axe beaks have a +6 on their saves. What's the DC of the fireball?
I am just confirming it is 17 plus spell level plus 2 for evocation spells. So this is a 3rd level spell, so that's 20 plus 2 for evocation is 22.
They all fail.
That's pretty awesome.
The axe beaks have 33 hit points apiece.
So that's more than half.
They're in single-digit hit points.
Isn't there something that if you lose more than half of your hit points, you must make a save?
If you do more than 50 damage and and it's
50.
over half, there are death rules where you make a DC 15 Fortitude save or just die from the system shock. So the axe beak are all electrified. There's a bunch of electric boogaloo birds over there, and then the riders. If one square of a large beast is caught in the effect, the rider is considered being in all 4 squares, so they too are getting electrocuted, even though that some of them they look like they're outside of the sphere. Electricity does follow. And the riders, they have +8s on their reflex saves. They are competent. AC 21, 20, 25, and 10. And you said the DC was what? Oh, there's one more.
DC was 22.
Okay, so only one of them made it. And the riders have 44. You bloodied 4 out of the 5 riders.
That's Riders of the Lost Vark. I'm sorry.
That's beautiful. Oh, is that an episode? Is that a title for the episode?
That's probably good. Whose was that?
That's neat.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 14 damage on that one. Okay, that injures them greatly. They did not like that. Feathers flying everywhere and this horrible screech. Who hasn't taken their round 6 yet?
I continue to concentrate on the walls.
Fereosae?
I'm enjoying the break.
Okay. Alright, round 7.
Professor, come on over a little bit closer here. Stay by the bear.
No. I will walk over.
I'm basically just trying to make sure everybody's within 30 feet, so if push comes to shove.
The injured Vark are fleeing.
Are
Oh,
we
no.
doing initiative at any point? Or-
I'm just kind of going us, them.
Okay.
Just because there were lots of rounds before